The rise of hypersonic weapons marks one of the most profound shifts in global security since the advent of nuclear arms. While these systems are not nuclear by default, their speed, precision, and ambiguity fundamentally alter how deterrence works, and how quickly the world could slide toward catastrophic escalation. At the heart of this transformation lies a dangerous question. Can traditional nuclear deterrence survive in the age of hypersonic missiles? The fragile logic of nuclear deterrence. For more than 70 years, global stability has rested on a paradox known as mutually assured destruction. The premise was simple yet terrifying. No nuclear-armed state would launch a first strike, knowing that retaliation would be inevitable and devastating. This balance depended on three critical assumptions. 1. Early warning. Enough time to detect an incoming attack. 2. Second strike capability. The ability to retaliate even after being hit. 3. Clear attribution, knowing who launched the attack and why. Hypersonic weapons challenge all three. Speed compresses decision-making. Traditional intercontinental ballistic missiles follow predictable trajectories and take roughly 30 minutes to reach their targets. That window, though short, allows leaders time to assess data, verify threats, consult advisors, and avoid rash decisions. Hypersonic weapons shrink that window dramatically. A missile like Dark Eagle, traveling at Mach 8 or higher, can reach strategic targets in minutes, not half an hour. For military commanders and political leaders, this compression of time creates intense pressure. When warning systems detect a hypersonic launch, leaders may have less than 5 minutes to decide. Is this a conventional strike? Is it nuclear? Is it a decapitation attempt? Should we respond immediately? In such conditions, the margin for error becomes dangerously thin. The ambiguity problem, conventional or nuclear. One of the most destabilizing features of hypersonic weapons is payload ambiguity. Unlike traditional nuclear missiles, hypersonic systems can carry either a conventional kinetic warhead or a nuclear payload. From radar and satellite data alone, defenders cannot easily tell the difference. This creates a terrifying scenario. A conventional hypersonic strike could be misinterpreted as a nuclear first strike, triggering a nuclear response. In deterrence theory, ambiguity is poison. It increases the likelihood of miscalculation, not because leaders want war, but because they fear waiting too long. Decapitation fears, and use it or lose it. Hypersonic weapons are particularly effective against high-value, time-sensitive targets. Command and control centers, early warning radars, leadership bunkers, strategic air bases. This raises the specter of a decapitation strike, an attack designed to disable an adversary's ability to respond. If a nation believes its leadership or nuclear forces could be destroyed before retaliation, it may adopt a use-it-or-lose-it posture, lowering the threshold for nuclear launch. Rather than stabilizing deterrence, hypersonic weapons may incentivize. Preemptive doctrines, hair-trigger alert statuses, automated or delegated launch authority, each of these increases the risk of accidental or unauthorized escalation. The erosion of missile defense confidence. For decades, missile defense systems played a psychological role as much as a military one. Even if imperfect, they reassured leaders that not every incoming threat would succeed. Hypersonic weapons undermine that confidence. Because of their speed and maneuverability, current defenses struggle to track, predict, and intercept them reliably. When defenses appear ineffective, leaders may feel exposed, and exposure breeds aggression. The result is a strategic environment defined not by stability, but by fear of vulnerability. Crisis instability in a hypersonic world. Crisis stability refers to a situation where neither side feels pressure to strike first during a confrontation. Hypersonic weapons erode this stability. In a tense standoff over Taiwan, Ukraine, the Middle East, or the Korean Peninsula, the presence of hypersonic systems could push leaders toward rapid escalation. A military exercise could be mistaken for preparation. A test launch could be misread as an attack. A cyber glitch could trigger a false alarm. With response times measured in minutes, not hours, diplomacy struggles to keep pace with technology. Nuclear powers react and adapt. Recognizing these dangers, nuclear-armed states are already adapting their doctrines. Russia emphasizes hypersonic weapons as tools to penetrate NATO defenses and offset conventional inferiority. China integrates them into a broader strategy designed to deter U.S. intervention near its borders. The United States, through systems like Dark Eagle, seeks to restore deterrence by ensuring it cannot be outpaced or coerced. Yet adaptation does not equal safety. Each adjustment prompts countermeasures, fueling an arms race where speed becomes the ultimate currency. Arms control, a dangerous vacuum. Unlike nuclear weapons, hypersonic missiles exist in a regulatory void. There are no binding limits on numbers, no transparency requirements, no verification mechanisms, no agreed definitions. This absence of rules magnifies mistrust. Nations assume worst-case scenarios, accelerating deployment to avoid falling behind. During the Cold War, arms control agreements helped manage risk even amid rivalry. In the hypersonic era, such stabilizing frameworks are conspicuously absent. The risk of accidental war. History shows that near misses are not hypothetical. The Cold War saw multiple incidents where false alarms nearly triggered nuclear launches. Hypersonic weapons increase the likelihood of similar incidents, but with far less time to correct mistakes. A malfunctioning sensor, a misinterpreted test, a rushed decision. Any of these could escalate into a conflict no one intended, a world moving faster than wisdom. The central danger of hypersonic weapons is not their raw destructive power, but the speed at which they force human judgment. Technology now moves faster than diplomacy, faster than verification, and faster than caution. Dark Eagle, Kinzhal, DF-17. These systems symbolize a future where wars could begin and escalate before the world even understands what is happening. Conclusion: deterrence at a crossroads. Hypersonic weapons do not make nuclear war inevitable, but they make it more plausible. They compress time, blur intentions, undermine defenses, and strain the fragile logic that has prevented catastrophe for generations. The world stands at a crossroads. Either adapt deterrence to this new reality through dialogue, transparency, and restraint, or accept a future where strategic stability is replaced by perpetual brinkmanship. In the hypersonic age, the greatest threat may not be the weapons themselves, but how quickly humanity is willing to trust machines with decisions that determine the fate of civilization.